Mani Padmiyam Om Mani Padmiyam Om Mani Good morning and welcome to the Sunday service. This morning we're going to practice the meditation. Few minutes after the meditation, Reverend Chanda Sara is going to give a Dhamma talk. After Dhamma talk, question and answer. The last item is chanting. Right now, Vinita is going to lead the meditation.
Thank you, Bante. So today we're going to practice loving kindness meditation. So let's practice loving kindness meditation. Like this. May I be well and happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May no problems come to me. May I always find fulfillment. May my teachers and the Dharma teachers be well, happy, and peaceful. My parents and brothers and sisters, friends, relatives, be well, happy, and peaceful. May my enemies be well and happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficult come to them. May no problems come to them. They will be happy always. May all beings in the universe be well and happy and peaceful. Sadhu, 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 and practice like this until the bell sound.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Vinita. Right now, time for the Dhamma talk. Today, our speaker, Reverend Chanda Sara. Chanda Sara is a resident monks IBMC, and he's my student also in Sri Lanka. And he was in Sri Lanka. I think he came to Sri Lanka around 2002 or 2001. He's originally from Bangladesh. Then he went to the Hong Kong for his education. Right now he's studying in University of the West, his PhD degree. So, Chanda Sara, you can start your Dhamma talk right now.
Thank you so much, Venerable. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Anya ilabu panisa anya nibbana gamini. Dhamma friends, good morning to you. After quite a long time, I'm going to deliver a Dhamma speech. It's kind of sharing my knowledge. It's not my experience. To be honest, I don't want to preach Dhamma because I'm not perfected yet, but this is just sharing my knowledge in the Dhamma. So today, I want to look at and speak about the Puñña and Kusala. Puñña, the translation is usually merits, and Kusala is translated skillful, wholesome. I want to explore the difference between Puñña and Kusala. To which destination, where the Kusala leads and where the Puñña leads. So, according to the early Buddhism, without knowing the difference between Puñña and Kusala, will not be able to perfect in the path that is leading to the Nibbana. In order to be perfected in the path to Nibbana, we have to understand, we should know the Kusala. That's why the Pali statement I have mentioned here in the Dhammapada, it says Anyahi Labha Upanisa. That means there is another way, the way to gain profit is one, and Anya Nibbana Gamini, the way to Nibbana is another. That means we should not mix or mess up or misunderstood Puñña and Kusala. Sometimes we can see in the Pali commentaries, we will see Puñña and Kusala is used interchangeably, but there is still a significant difference between these two terms. In brief, I want to say Puñña strengthen our samsaric life, giving pleasant fruition results. But Kusala, it shortens our samsaric life. That means leading to Nibbana. So on this particular topic, I want to give some references from the early Buddhist teachings also, and then to explain some of the points I came across when I was reading. So I want to see definitions small definition given by the Buddha on Puñña, the nature of Puñña. Buddha says, Sukhasetang adevachanam punyam. The definition of punya is the pleasant, or anything, any actions that gives pleasant results or happiness is called punya. So the logic goes like this. If we want to experience the fruits, pleasant fruits of our pleasant deeds that was done intentionally, we have to remain in the samsara. If we want to experience the fruition of today's result, we have to be tomorrow. In the same way, the good things or the meritorious activities that in Pali we can say punya kriya, we do punya kriya, and if we have to experience the results of the punya kriya, we have to be born again. So there's the nature and the conditions of punya. Punya works as a fuel to a motor engine. So long we have fuel in the motor engine, it will run, it will go forward. Like if we have punya, if we do punya, we will lengthen we are lengthening our samsara, enjoying happiness. But in terms of kusala, it's like whatever conditions we have to be born again and again, that conditions all extinguished or cut down. So our samsaric life would not proceed hereafter. That is a kusala. The difference is very clear if you look at suttas such as the Arya Pariyeshana Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. In the particular sutta, Buddha says, he explains how he struggled to be enlightened for 6 years. After he left his kingdom, he met a couple of teachers, Alara Kalama, Uddhakaramaputra. He learned from those teachers, he practiced with them, and finally he understood those teachings are not enough. Those teachings are half happiness. I mean, like a temporary happiness. So if anyone practices those teachings, we might have long happiness, being born as a human, for a longer life, be born in the heaven. And if their merit is very powerful, the person can be born in a higher Brahma world. So in the Buddha Sasana, we says anyone who has developed a jhana, a supernormal power, and then could maintain that jhana position until death, the person is born in a higher heaven. So he or she enjoys very long lifespan in those heavens. So that's why the punya magga, the way to do punya merits is already existed even before Prince Siddhartha became the Buddhahood, became enlightened. So punya magga is not a new, so no need Buddhas to preach punya magga. That's why he found, he understood no one can show him kusala magga to attain the nibbana. That's why finally he decided to look for. In that sutta, Buddha says, King kusalam gavesi. What is a punya? What is a kusala? How to understand kusala? How to do kusala? That is his search. That is why the sutta is also termed as Arya Pariyeshana Sutta. It means the discourses on noble search. The Buddha was an ascetic Siddhartha was asking himself, what is the noble search, King Kusalam Gavesi? And finally, he has given up the what called self-mortification, ascetic practices, because ascetic practices is one end of wrong views in the world. That ascetic practices fall under the wrong view we call Satsatavada or eternalistic view. So these two, one is eternalistic view, that is Satsatavada, and Uchchadavada, nihilistic views. Both views are rejected when ascetic Siddhartha has understood the dependent co-arising or Paticca Samuppada. Through middle doctrine, these two extremes are rejected because they do not help to liberate from the samsara completely. So the practices of other ascetics like Alara Kalama, Uddakarama, they are half-truth because they give some kind of happiness in the human world, in the heaven, but they do not lead to the Nibbana. That's why ascetic Siddhartha, he had to struggle himself, he has to strive himself, not depending on teachers, because by that time, no teacher was there to preach him to Nibbana, the path to Nibbana. That's why he was seeking, struggling, contemplating towards the Kusala, the path, the Kusala, that is required to attain the enlightenment, the Nibbana. So when I use the term Nibbana, some people think Nibbana should be attained only after death. No, Nibbana should be experienced within this life. There are two types of Nibbana. Like one is explained like a person attains Nibbana once realize the full noble truths or the Paticca Samuppada. So that's why the qualities of the Dhamma is termed as Sanditiko Akaliko. Anytime we practice the Dhamma, anytime we understand, realize the Dhamma, at that time we experience the Nibbana. We don't have to wait until death. There is nothing to be experienced after life. So if anyone says Nibbana should be experienced after life, that means Buddhism is not different from other religions. The point is there. So, religions like divine center religions, they say like if you do good, you experience good in next life and you are unified, or you go to the eternal happiness that is in heaven. Everything happens hereafter. But only Buddhism teaches to experience Nibbana, the enlightenment in this life. At the moment we practice, if we get the right path, if we understand, if we have right view, Sammaditthi, that means we achieve enlightenment in this very life. You don't have to wait. But apart from Nibbana path or the Kusala path, we have tendency to do good, bad. We say Papa, evil deed, and Puñña, that is meritorious deeds. We all do that. And we have the merits, like we don't have to be Buddhist to do merits. Like every religion that teach dana, giving, generosity. So generosity is Puñña Magga, or one of the meritorious deeds. If you do good, that kind of activities is good, because if you give something to other people, other people are happy, they live long. For example, if they have food, money, they live longer, and they can live comfortably. So that's why I mentioned, like, to do merit, we don't have to be Buddhist. Anyone can practice. Even non-religious people, like atheists or free thinkers, they do good things to the society. That kind of things fall under the category of puñña. Even in the early suttas, we find like other examples of puñña, meritorious deeds, like making public places for people to rest. These all fall under puñña category. So the differences is there between the puñña and kusala. So to remind, kusala leads to nibbana and puñña lengthen our samsaric life, giving good results. But opposite of punya is papa or apunya, sometimes used. Like we can see in the Pali Canon. So anyone is committing evil deed or papa kriya, their samsaric life also lengthen, but experiencing unpleasant fruits, unpleasant results of their intentional wrong deeds. So both punya and papa kriya, good and evil actions, makes us remain in the samsara. So likewise, even akusala also provides kinds of conditions to lengthen our samsaric life. Therefore, I want to mention that only kusala that leads to nibbana, and it's mentioned clearly in the early Buddhist teachings. So if you don't know like the difference between kusala and punya, we will do good for ourselves, just like other people, I mean other religious followers, wishing good, and they think like this kind of thing, punya kriya leads to nibbana, to fully liberate from samsara. No, it will never happen. That's why ascetic Siddhartha he had to look for King Kusalam Gavesi, and finally he realized the Dhamma, and then he attained the fully enlightenment. So I want to look at a sutta called Parivimansana Sutta in Samyutta Nikaya. The Buddha says in the sutta, when a person immersed in ignorance, we call avijja. You see, even the Paticca itself, it has the linkage like avijja pacca sankhara, sankhara pacca vijnana. That is ignorance causes and conditions to sankhara, avijja pacca sankhara. So likewise, in the sutta, the Buddha says, a person when immersed in ignorance, he or she accumulates either, it says, puññam ca sankharang abhisankharoti. The person either accumulates merits or apuññam ca sankharang abhisankharoti, demerits, apunya. Another word for apunya is papa. And or a person accumulates anenjam ca sankharang. That means imperturbable deeds. All ascetics or meditation practitioners who have attained jhana, the actions or activities or the fruits, any kind of conditions are the fall under anenjabi sankhara, because the merits gained through the development of jhana is very strong, powerful than the normal punya. That's why it's called imperturbable in English. So in Pali, it's called anenjabi sankhara because it's strong. It helps the meditation practitioners to be born in the higher realm, that is in the Brahma Loka, in a very higher realm. So from this sutta, it is clear that we do punya or papa or even the stronger meritorious deed when a person still has ignorance. So there is wrong. There might be there is still conditions to be born. You know, a person after spending thousands or millions of years lifespan, human lifespan in the heaven, after exhaustion of the merits, they will die in the heaven and then born in other sphere. Maybe they will be born in a human world again, or something they might be born directly in the hell because of their previous bad deeds before they went to the heaven. So that's why we see the differences when we look at the suttas, early Buddhist teachings. And the interesting thing is that in that sutta, the Buddha says, I'll read out this. Yatoko bhikkhave bhikkhuno avijja pahina hoti vijja upamna. O monks, if a person has eradicated the ignorance, avijja, so avijja viraga vijja upada neva punya abhisankharam abhisankaroti. That person does not accumulate merits and does not accumulate demerits and does not accumulate stronger merits or called anenja abhisankhara. So this is clear from here. Like when a person has completely eradicated ignorance, craving, all those defilements, the person never accumulates merits. But he is perfected in kusala. The person is enlightened now, liberated from suffering, from the samsara. Finally, Buddha says, Hina jati vusitam brahmacharyam katam karaniyam naparam itatayati. That means there is nothing more needed for him to do in order to attain enlightenment. So by this time, when a person has eradicated all ignorance, the person is established in the Nibbana path. And to give example of the nature of punya that lengthens the samsara, I can cite from Dhammapada also. It says, Ida nandati, pecha nandati, kata punya vayata nandati. A person who does good enjoys pleasant in this life and hereafter. And the nature of the kusala magga of a person who has attained the kusala path and perfected in it and attained the enlightenment or liberation from the suffering, they are said to have passed beyond the path of punya or meritorious deed and the path of apunya, demerits. So I want to read out that one to show that. In Dhammapada, it's it says yoda punyancha papancha bahetva. That means a person who has given out both or passed beyond punya and papa, he brahmacharyava sankhaya loke charati save bhikkhu ti uchari. That means he is a bhikkhu. Here, bhikkhu is not the general or ordinary bhikkhu. He is a arahant. And next stanza, it also confirms it. A Brahma is one who has shattered the bondage of both punya and papa. Oh no, next one, I will read the Pali. Yoda punyancha papancha ubho sangam upachaga. It says, a real Brahmin is one who has passed beyond both punya and papa. Here, Brahma is referred to an arahant. So I want to brief at this point the punya, the difference between punya and kusala. So if we do punya, we will be born again and again. We have to born again and again because it is a condition to give good, pleasant retribution results either in this life or next life or any life in the samsara until we remain in the samsara. And opposite of punya is papa. If we have too much papa or evil deeds, if we committed too much, that means we'll be born in the relevant spheres, experiencing unpleasant things, too much suffering. But the kusala, it leads towards the liberation from suffering. So I want to stop here, and then I want to hear from audience if you can share your knowledge, what you see, what you understand, how you experience. I'm happy to share with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chanda Sara. If you have any question regarding his Dhamma talk, You can ask right now, or you can share with your ideas.
Chanda Sara, thank you for the talk, and thank you for clarifying the difference between Puñña and Kusala. I've always kind of thought, well, just do good deeds, but that's Puñña. But it's doing good deeds right with you, and that's Kusala. I think that's what it is, because we seek nirvana and enlightenment. That's Kusala, and just doing good stuff. I could stay as a Catholic and do Puñña. So thank you. It was.
Thank you so much, Venerable. Appreciate. Thank you. Yes, Venerable Victor. Yes.
Thank you so much for your talk. We really appreciate it. And thank you for being here at our temple.
Thank you so much. Appreciate. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you. I think we don't have questions, so maybe we can wind up. Yes.
Thank you again. If you don't have questions, so we go to chanting page 4 and page 10, and some Pali chanting also. By the way, I want to mention next Sunday, Sanati Vihara, Venerable Sanati Vihari, Mexican American monk, Sanati Vihari, he's going to give a Dhamma talk next Sunday, same time, 11 o'clock. So join next Sunday also with us. Now we're going to chanting some Pali and some page 4 and page 10. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. Itipiso bhagava araham samma sambuddham vicacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattha deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipassiko opanayiko pachatang veditabbo vinyayiti. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujjapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato
Savaka Sangho Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani Atto Purisa Puggala Isa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Puñña Kirtang Lokasati Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddhanubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhammanubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Sanghanubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te.
Sentient beings are numberless.
I vow to save them all. Deliberately impassions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them all. Dharma gates are limitless. I vow to study them all. Buddha's way is supreme. I vow to attain it. May suffering ones be suffering free, and fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and the sick find health relief. May all merit be extended to everyone, that we together with all beings may gain Buddha's way. Om Mani Padme
Thank you again for everybody. Thank you, Chanda Sara. Thank you, Vinita, and thank you, Asan. Hope to see you all next Sunday. And by the power of Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, you all be well and happy. Thank you again. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.